Patrick Mahomes happy? The Chiefs' rebuilt offensive line that Adam just referenced, left to right, you're going to see, as we know, Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, and likely Austin Blythe in the middle, throwing Kyle Long, plus the return of Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, the NFL doctor. The Chiefs' offensive line is looking much more formidable. And the Jets are expected to take Zach Wilson second overall to replace new Panthers quarterback Sam Darnold. Here's head coach Robert Saleh, who addressed reporters on Thursday about the prospects of having a rookie quarterback.
I don't think there's risk. It still comes down to having a good football team and building a good roster around everybody. I mean, there's players here that are talented. There's rookies that are going to be coming in that are talented, and so as far as pressure is concerned, there's no pressure on me. It's just there's always pressure. There's always pressure to put together the best football team we possibly can, regardless of who's playing.
Damien, you've got great perspective on playing New York because you played in New York. So what was your reaction to Robert Saleh's comments?
Well, you don't know what you don't know. Robert Saleh is a rookie. He's a rookie head coach, and presumably the Jets going to be drafting a rookie quarterback. So the one thing about playing in this market, there is no in between. It's either the extreme highs or the extreme lows. I've been a part of situations where we won an important game and it felt like you won a Super Bowl. I've also been in a situation where you go on a 3-game losing streak and all hell broke loose in the New York market. So that's going to be something that the Jets organization is going to have to navigate. And, I bring up 2009, back when I played with the New York Jets. We traded up to number 5 to select Mark Sanchez out of USC. Our team was different than what this situation that's coming to bear for the New York Jets, because we had a very veteran team. We had probably the best offensive line in football, the number 1 defense in football. So we went up and got Mark Sanchez and plugged him in as a rookie quarterback. The Jets situation in 2021, this is one of the worst rosters in the National Football League. So this is going to be a totally different situation for the New York Jets to navigate.
Yeah, Damien, you mentioned the great offensive line back then. It's not so great now outside of the now second-year player, left tackle, Mekhi Becton. There are issues across that entire unit, and that, to me, is going to be the biggest adjustment for rookie quarterback Zach Wilson, assuming, of course, that he is the number 2 pick. Because when you watch his BYU tape, he is very exciting. The offensive line might be just as impressive at BYU, granted against, some small school competition. But Wilson, man, I mean, he's got enough time back there to make breakfast. And not like cereal, like an omelet. He was so unpressured in college. That's going to be a big adjustment when he comes to the NFL. So as we look ahead to the Jets draft, how they're going to spend all of these picks, we need to start eyeing some offensive linemen after that number 2 pick, because they need a lot of help.
Yeah, I mean, and not only could he make breakfast, he could drink his coffee back there because his offensive line was very good. And the level of competition he saw was not great in terms of pass rushers. Coastal Carolina, the only school he played that has a draftable defensive lineman in the 2021 draft class. So it will be very different going against Brian Flores, Bill Belichick, guys, Sean McDermott, guys who really know how to get after the quarterback. So I think, yes, the offensive line is an area they should address with pick number 23, whether that's an offensive tackle like Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech, who can play on the right side. Unfortunately, the interior draft is not that great this year. Elijah Vera Tucker, who played left tackle at USC last year, but is more comfortable and more of a projection inside at guard, could be available for them. But to your point, Mina, they could come out of this draft with 2 offensive linemen early with their 10 picks, and I don't think fans could be that upset. The only downside is they're still rebuilding this defense as well, with now a defensive-minded head coach in Robert Saleh. They have to find another corner, another edge rusher. They have to fill out a lot of areas on this team. As Damien said, this is not a good roster. There's a reason most of us thought they would have the number 1 pick in this draft when the season started last year.
I'll be interested to see if Joe Douglas addresses the offensive line passionately, because a lot of the names that we showed you on that depth chart were players he acquired this past offseason, as in 2020. Connor McGovern, Alex Lewis retained on a 3-year deal amongst them. I think it's always good, though, if you're a general manager, to understand that those are some costs. If you can upgrade with draft picks, go ahead and do it. Your quarterback certainly needs it. Ahead on NFL Live, picks 7 through 9 could be really interesting. And how will they shake out in a quarterback search? Why someone here thinks this is the most intriguing spot in the draft. Find out who that is next. Before we do that, let's take a look back at the week that was here on NFL Live.
I love celebrating with you guys, fans of the show and fans of Dan Orlovsky's wonderful wardrobe.
I want to be on television without you, Schrager, so you can mock my wardrobe as I mock that, what you call hair on the top of your head.
Let's go.
We're rock, paper, scissoring here.
I'm a big rock guy, by the way.
I'm usually
Big
scissors,
rock
so you
guy.
would beat me.
I grew up idolizing Mel Kiper. I also have a son who is 4.5 years old named Mel. Not named after you, Mel Kiper.
Yeah, Peter, that's amazing. I want to be Hodgster involving a very good young left tackle.
We'll field a big trade today that will help the Kansas City Chiefs shore up their offensive line and will help the Baltimore Ravens continue to replenish their franchise. You see the terms of the trade right there. The Kansas City Chiefs get Orlando Brown Jr. as well as a second-round draft pick this year and a sixth-round pick next year. The Baltimore Ravens get a first-round pick this year, added picks in this year's draft, and a fifth-round pick next year as well. And that means that Baltimore will be armed with picks 27 and pick 31 on Thursday night. They're scheduled to be on the clock twice on the opening night of the draft. That's worked out pretty well for the Ravens. In the past, there was a year where they had 2 1s that they used on Jonathan Ogden and Ray Lewis in the same draft. I think Baltimore's hoping for similar results on Thursday night, and the Kansas City Chiefs have been all in on their offensive line throughout the course of the offseason. You remember they signed Joe Tooney, the former Patriots standout offensive lineman. They went after Trent Williams hard and didn't get him. They got Kyle Long. Today they go out and add a potential left tackle for Patrick Mahomes. Now they have not had contract discussions yet with Orlando Brown Jr., which is part of the reason that Baltimore traded him, because Baltimore was not going to re-sign him to the type of deal that he was looking for. So Kansas City now will be left with that responsibility to go pay Orlando Brown, but he has a new home protecting Patrick Mahomes instead of Lamar Jackson.
Shefty, I know you were sitting on this one today, so it's great that we got this story out. Good job by you. And the only person happier than you